Hey, welcome back. You know, it just gets better and better, the more I do these. I want to share a little bit about an inner life principle that is developing a sense of coherence that kind of ready to express and communicate. And it relates to the inner life as source. Uh, Hang with me on this one. I think you'll enjoy this one. When I use the term the inner life is not a metaphor. It's not a psychology. It's not an emotion. And it's not a mindset. Okay? It's, it's the source of our existence. It's the quiet, eternal, unbroken reality that precedes biology, animates biology, and outlives biology. It's a spiritual reality, not a material reality, right? It's the cause, not the effect. And because it is whole, all right, it continually generates new life, new healing, new balance, new homeostasis, and new coherence from the inside outward. Right? But most people never notice this because it's silence, constant, and humble. It asks for nothing, it simply is. So I want to introduce the seed as the mirror, okay? A seed, what is a seed? A seed is the perfect analogy for what I'm about to share with you. Inside a dormant seed, life is present, but quiet, still, and waiting. Now, the outer shell may be dry, cracked, or weathered, but the inner life within is untouched unless the seed is fundamentally corrupted, right? Well, the same is true for us. Okay, all right. The inner life remains whole even when the body is injured, the senses are impaired, the mind is confused, or the outer body is altered somehow. This is why a plant continues to grow even if a leaf is torn off, or why a child may be born blind and still possess a full, radiant inner life. Wow, you think of Helen Keller, you know? This is why healing can occur even in bodies that have been wounded or changed. The inner life determines what the outer form can sustain, not the other way around. The inner life knows what is possible, you know, and what is best. It is always generating life to the extent that the outer vessel can support it. This explains why some things heal, why some things remain, why some things transform, and why some things cannot continue. Not because the inner life is limited, but because the outer form has its own conditions, capacities, and thresholds. Yeah, the inner life is always whole. The outer life is always conditional. Let me share a little bit here about Christ as the embodiment of the inner life. Let's illuminate on this here. Christ didn't teach the inner life, he embodied it. His presence radiated because his inner life was unobstructed, unfragmented, uncorrupted. He lived from the source without interference. And this is why people felt his presence, why clarity arose around him and peace followed him. Fear dissolved near him. He wasn't performing miracles from the outer life. He was living from the inner life so purely that the outer world responded. When he said, "Abide in me, I am the vine, you're the branches," he was teaching his disciples to live from the same plane of awareness, to draw from the same inner source. Not belief, not doctrine, not ritual. Certainly all those things have been spoken. No. Life, inner life, the vine. I like that. Sounds like divine, divine. Yeah, from divine. So here's the teaching that I'm pointing toward, all right? I'm describing a truth that sits at the foundation of sovereignty. The inner life is the source of healing, identity, clarity, and wholeness. The outer life is simply the expression of what the inner life can sustain. When we trust the inner life, we stop panicking about the outer. We stop worshiping symptoms. We stop fearing change. We stop confusing biology with identity. Yeah. We stop thinking we are broken. We begin to live from the same place Christ lived from, the place where life flows outward, not inward. Okay? Consider these words, all right? Yeah. Remain, enjoy that inner life. Stay in the vine in peace.